Today I'm going to talk about why the twin flame runner or the avoidant or the narcissist can leave so easily and why they can detach so easily. And I put all of these different groups into one video because they are going to be very, very similar in one aspect. And the aspect is that they are more detached from this emotional part that is the body, or we can call it the child self. This is where the energies are. This is where you feel this pull, chemistry. This is where you can feel that you met your opposite, and that's the thing that really stirs you up if you are a body-based person, which means that you are the twin flame chaser or the empath slash codependent or the anxious preoccupied. And if you are in this type, you don't really understand why the other person is so different, because your internal experience is going to be completely the opposite. And I just making this video to have you really understand, because I was in both. So I'm going to leave a link below, actually two links. The first one is going to be a video I have made already where I talk about how to stop the chase, and I explain the difference between the runner and the chaser very deep, and also what you can do. And in another video that I'm going to create after this is where I'm going to explain, that's going to be a shorter one, why you actually chase, and that's just going to focus on the why. There is not going to be how in it, so you get a better understanding what's the core difference between these two groups of people and why you two attract. Why is life so unfair and so abusive with you that you feel attracted to these type of people, and you feel like I'm always with these type of people all the time and I cannot understand them. And when you go through a self-development, you will actually go through internally, so you can compare them internally how it feels, and that's when you get a very deep understanding, because it's not only on the cognitive level that okay, I read about it, but it's still your own internal experiences. It's going to shift when you go through your own self-development, because you will feel the difference, how it feels to be that different person who is your true opposite. And of course, every single experience is going to be completely different, because we are never 100% this and 100% that. We are kind of a mixture of all of these different things, but something is going to be dominant. So the problem is that many times when you watch videos, you see like, okay, one circle, like this is a group and this is another group and this is another group, and there is this separation. And we should be able to label, especially the videos that work now, make people even more separated. But in reality, you should imagine as a network. There is this network within you, that's your neurocommunication. And we all of us go through the 3 levels of self-development. And we keep developing until age 25. And depending on our experiences, certain parts of this neurocommunication network is going to be more dominant and less dominant and repressed, and something is going to be overall very, very dominant. And this is what gives the personality. We can call it the ego. That is going to be the driving force of this whole neurocommunication system. But other things are going to be there as well, but they will have less power. And if someone has a very strong rigidity, or we can call it a personality disorder, it means that there is too much dominance in one thing and they are able to really override these other parts. There is no internal struggle. And when someone is more mixed, that's when they have the traits and they can feel that I'm not really sure if I'm this, if I'm that. And there is like this fluidity in the personality sometimes. So this is how you can see a personality. And I'm going to explain now why they can actually detach so easily. So an avoidant person, or a more narcissistic person, or a more uh, twin flame runner type of person is going to detach from this internal part where the emotions are and where the energies are, and they are more connected to this head part. And these are going to be the rules, either the rules they have made as very little children, or the rules they have learned from society. And you have to understand that in the head, in this part of the head, the prefrontal cortex here has the impulse control. And that's why when you are talking to certain people, and when they feel angry, they go away, they don't get into the argument, but their internal experience is that I'm not going to be like the other person, and the other person is angry all the time. But in reality, they don't really understand that because they go away or because they don't react, basically they don't engage in the communication, they make the other person even angrier and angrier. And that's what the chaser or the anxious preoccupied or the codependent is going to become. That, oh my god, I'm trying to resolve this problem, but the other person just doesn't care about me, or goes away, or even tells me rules or things that, okay, it doesn't really matter what it is. The thing is that there is no communication between the two of you. And this is what your external reality. But in the internal reality of you that you don't see in the neural communication system, it represents this miscommunication and the lack of communication between the head and the body. And that's what you too experience, that you don't have enough communication with your head. Your body overrides your impulses, what is coming internally. And that's why you can become more impulsive, and it's just like, I cannot stop myself. And what you have to learn is that you have to think a little bit more. And the other version, the runner, is going to detach too easily because they cannot connect to their internal self. They can push the emotions away, and that's exactly why they can go away very easily, even from an argument. And actually, when there is an argument, they prefer to go away because they try to avoid the problem. They don't want problems, they want similarities, because the head wants similarity, they want agreement, they want peace. But at the same time, the exact same thing that makes them peaceful and understanding and there is no friction, the body works on a different way, that opposites attract and similarity doesn't attract. They don't feel this stirred up feeling that there is chemistry and electricity in the relationship, because similars don't have the attraction on the body level. And that's why they get bored in those relationships, because there is no internal stirring up, and they leave. That's one of the things, if it gets boring too much. And also, if it gets into this huge fight all the time, they also leave. That's why it's the avoidant. They are not good with relationships. That's where it comes across, that the relationship part that is connected to the attachment, they are not comfortable there, because their upbringing with the parent taught them that you cannot trust the attachment figure. They are going to let you down, and that's what they are constantly looking for. Can I trust you, or I cannot trust you? But in reality, what they don't see is that they have already decided that the partner cannot be trusted, and they are just looking for signs. Okay, what is that clear sign that I cannot trust you? So I have the reason, because they are very thinking, reason that I can leave. They don't really leave due to emotions that I feel that this or that. They are just like, there is a reason, and there are all of these signs that you cannot be trusted, so I move away, I leave you. The other reason is that when they get bored. And because they are so connected to the head actually goes for large numbers, that I should be attractive to as many people as I can, and they always want this newness, because they cannot connect really deep. And that's one of the reasons they even see when there is a problem with the relationship, that it's easier to get into a new relationship and start from scratch. And the new relationship actually looks a lot more attractive. And they always need new people as well, because this wants lots of relationships. In reality, they don't see that, but this is what they want, is newness. This is how they get the energy, by new people. And you, on the other hand, the chaser, or empath, or codependent, you cannot detach from that one single person. You really focus on the single person, the one person, the relationship, and you cannot let it go. So that's how you are opposites of each other. And in order to overcome that, it doesn't matter which one you are. You have to become your own opposite. So if you are the runner, you have to let your guard down, and you have to go down into your body, allow to get hurt, and relive your childhood wounds, and bring this other part up. So you have both the body and the mind, and you make it equal, and you integrate. And if you are the chaser, the opposite, you have to create boundaries. And you can create boundaries by engaging with your head. So that's your opposite. And that's how you are going to make this balance within you, that you have an equal head and an equal body. And that's how you create security. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about why the chaser chases in a little bit more detail. See you in my next video.